What's up, YouTube? I want to come to you with the topic, what is truth? A lot of people say they true, they authentic, they keep it 100, they cut from a different cloth than everyone else. So I want to examine truth and find out together what is truth. Like this page, subscribe if you want to see more videos. Let's get into the topic. According to the dictionary, the English dictionary, truth is the quality or state of being true, sincere, something that is a fact, reality, and something that is accepted as true for everyone. Now, some people say truth is based upon what each individual culture deems real. So it doesn't matter if you're Asian or Hispanic, black, white, your background, your culture, wherever you're from, truth is based upon what your culture or cultural perception deems true. That's what some people believe. Now, I want to give you a quote by Blaise Pascal. Truth is so obscured nowadays and lies so well established that unless we love the truth, we should never recognize it. And again, that's from Blaise Pascal. That's a quote. That the truth is so hidden and so obscure, and so many people are not living the truth, but so many people, they true, they authentic, they keep it 100. But lies are so well established. Lies are everywhere, and they're so well established, they're so well created, and they're so easily believed. But unless we love the truth, we will never recognize truth. So many people are seeking truth. So many people are trying to find the truth. But if you don't love the truth, you will not find the truth. You will not recognize the truth. You'll always believe a lie. And there's so much lies out there. Now, some people believe that truth is in correspondence to what a person claims. If I say my shirt that I have on is black, and if it's black, then it's true. But if I say my shirt is white, then I lie. Why? Because my shirt is black. Okay? So some people correspond truth in that form. So you also have pragmatic truth, which says that truth is what each individual person within themselves believe is true. So whatever I believe within myself and whatever my reality and perception is true. And I don't care what you say. I don't care what anyone else says. I don't care, because I believe it's true. And so that means we have truth within ourselves, and nobody else can tell us different. Some people believe that way. Now, many people say, again, they're real, they keep it 100, they cut from a different cloth, they're authentic. But all these people, are they the truth? Are all these people real? Everybody says that. Everybody uses those same phrases. Everybody in their rap music uses the same phrases. Movie stars use the same phrases. People from the streets who's supposed to be the hardest use the same phrases. But are these people true? Do these statements make a person real? I'm 100. I'm authentic. I'll keep it real. Do these statements mean I'm real? Are we real because we say we're real? I just say I'm real. Am I real? Are we real because of our cultural background? Are we real because someone said we are? When our friends, when our homies said, hey, bruh is real. Bruh is authentic. Bruh keeps it 100. I can kick it with bruh all day. Are we real because of that? Are we real because of some street cred we got, or because we kept the G code? Does that mean that we're real? Or am I real because I didn't snitch on somebody? Or am I real because I have a lot of money? and I'm well known or I'm a celebrity, does those things make me real? So we're going to examine something. But what is truth? Or who is truth? They're synonymous with each other. What is truth? Now, solid truth is what corresponds to reality, okay? Solid truth is what corresponds with reality. They go together. What's reality is truth. And I can look at reality and I can look at the truth and I can put them together and say, yeah, that's authentic. When this is established, then we can read a statement and match it. Somebody can say something, and if it matches with reality, it's true. Now, we can also see this in someone else's deeds, what they do, how they act, what they say, the lifestyle they live, the character they display. And we can say, yes, that's true. That matches up with truth. Now, what are some characteristics of truth? Okay, before we get into everything, what are some characteristics of truth? Truth is absolute. It's true whether people believe it to be or if they don't believe it. Truth does not have to answer to anybody. Truth is truth, no matter what, whether you believe it or not. Truth is consistent. Truth cannot contradict itself internally or externally. Truth cannot contradict itself. It's consistent. Truth is universal. It applies equally to everybody and every person and everything everywhere. Truth is not constrained. You can't hold truth in a bottle. Truth is exposed to everybody. It's not hidden. It doesn't hide. Wide open, cut straight. Truth is exclusive. It's sharp. It's clean. It's straight to the point. And it's clear cut. I'm going to cut it straight. I'm going to tell you like it is. Truth does not play no games. And truth cuts deep within the heart and always brings change. Change for the better. Change for the right. Change for the good. Truth does not lead you into evil. Truth pulls you out for the good and for a great purpose and to help you become better, help me become better. That's what truth does. So what is truth? In John chapter 14, verse 6, I'm going to go over that and kind of break that down right quick because what we want to find out is what is truth. John chapter 14, verse 6. It says, Jesus said unto them, talking about Thomas. Jesus said unto him, talking about Thomas, I am the way. The Greek word for way is hodos. It means the path. Jesus is the path. He is the road, the journey, and route that everyone must go and follow. So Jesus is making some claims here. And what we want to do is examine those claims to see if we can kind of establish some truth here. So Jesus said he is the road, the path, the route, and the journey for everyone to follow. So he says, I am the way, I'm the hodos, the truth. The word truth is the Greek word aletheia. It's to be absolute truth, to be absolute the right way, to be absolute genuineness, to be absolute wisdom, to be absolute knowledge, to be absolute love, absolute salvation, absolute deliverer, absolute problem solver, absolute kindness, absolute mercy, absolute forgiveness, absolute hope, absolute peace, absolute sincerity, security, and protection, and life. Jesus is absolute. These are the claims that he's making. And so we want to examine these claims because he says, I am the way and I am the truth. okay? Because we're trying to establish what is truth. Well, Jesus is saying that he is truth. He's absolute. Truth is absolute. And Jesus is saying he's absolute everything that has to do with truth. And there is no other individual that can make that claim and say that they are absolute, no matter how authentic they say. And this is what Jesus is saying. Now, what is Jesus saying and claiming here? Jesus is claiming absolute power, control, rulership over everything. He's saying, I own everything. I'm true. I'm over everything. And he says, and I'm the complete embodiment of truth. And all that truth is, and outside of him, there is no truth. Outside of Jesus, there is no truth. No matter what people say, Jesus is making the claim that no matter what you say, no matter who you are, no matter who you think you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter how rich you may be, no matter what, I am absolute truth. And no one else is absolute truth outside of me, is the claim that Jesus is making. He's saying there is no truth because he is the author and creator of truth and all that truth is. Everything that truth is, Jesus is saying he is that truth. And there's no truth outside of that. In John 8:32, John chapter 8, verse 32, let me get there right quick. John chapter 8, verse 32. Jesus says, and you will know, the word know is gnosko. Okay, it's the Greek word gnosko. Jesus says you will know, to completely know, understand, and be aware, and have true realness and genuineness in your life. You will know the truth. The word truth again is aletheia. Okay, it's the complete wisdom, complete knowledge, complete understanding, complete love, complete genuineness, complete kindness, complete mercy, complete peace, protection, all the absolute. Jesus is saying you will know absolute truth. You will understand and be aware of absolute truth when you're connected to him. And that truth, who he is, because Jesus is making the claim that he is absolute truth. He says that truth, my aletheia, will set you free. You knowing and accepting and understanding Jesus as truth, you will be made free. The word free is the Greek word eleuthero, and it means to be liberated, to be completely loosed and let go, to be free from all moral confinement and imprisonment, those things that hold us imprisonment morally, those things that try to stop us and block us and keep us constrained in imprisonment morally and spiritually. Those things, those lies, those falsehoods, those haters, those failures, those dark things in our lives that try to hold us down. Jesus said, when you are connected to me and I am truth, you will be made free when you accept my truth. Then no darkness and no lies can hold you down. No darkness and no lies can block you from true success, which is in Jesus. Then he says, but not only is Jesus absolute truth, and not only is Jesus making the claim that he is absolute truth, his words that he speaks, he makes the claim that even they also are absolute truth. Okay? So Jesus is making the claim that he is absolute truth, but Jesus is also making the claim that his words are absolute truth. So whatever he says is absolute truth. And those who want to be in truth are seeking his words, which are absolute truth. So if we're looking for truth, we're trying to find truth. We're trying to find somebody authentic. Jesus is saying, I am, and my words are true, just as well as I am true, and all truth resonates and begins with me. That's what Jesus is saying. So he says, he makes the claim. He says, I'm absolute truth, and my word is absolute truth. And he said this previously in John 8:31. He says, if you continue, the word continue is meno. If you continue progressively, continually, every day, at all times, to follow after and listen and seek daily and live in my words. Now, the word my is the Greek word amos. It's showing ownership. Jesus is saying and claiming that if you stay with him and with his words that he spoke, his words that he put out, his claim of him being truth, his claim of his words being truth, his claim that he can be your peace, his claim that he can be your salvation, his claim that he is your deliverer, his claim that he gives you full life, his claim that he gives you full peace. Not your mom's words, not your dad's words, not your cousin's words, not your sister's words, not your uncle's words, but in the words of Jesus, not in your father's or your mother's words, but in the words of Jesus, not in your psychologist's words, but in the words of Jesus. He says, in my words alone, which are absolute truth, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free from all falsehood, from all lies, from all darkness. You'll be able to recognize falsehood. You'll be able to recognize lies. You'll be able to recognize darkness, because Jesus is true. His words are true. They are absolute. He is absolute. And therefore, he is our guidance to keep us away from all falsehood. So that's where we want to look for truth. Jesus is actually making the claim that he is true. Nobody else. Many people say they authentic. They keep it 100. They cut from different cloth. But nobody's cut from the cloth of Jesus, and neither can you be unless you follow him. Now, he says in John 1:17, we find that Moses was a good man and a prophet of God. Now, Moses wrote the Torah, okay? He wrote the first 5 books of the Old Testament, okay? And Moses was a great man of God, a great prophet of God, okay? Of Yah, all right? Of Elohim. Moses was a great prophet. But he was not the truth. Moses was not the truth. He was not the absolute truth. Now, he spoke the words of truth because the words came from Yah, came from God. But Moses was not the absolute truth. Moses gave the 10 commandments in the Torah, and Moses even prophesied of the true prophet to come. In Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15, it says, the Lord, Yah, will raise up for you a prophet like me from among your brethren. You must listen to him. Moses, the prophet, is prophesying of Jesus, who was that prophet that God, that Yah was going to raise up. Then he says, you must listen to him. Why? Because he is absolute truth and his words are true. Now, why? Because this prophet that he's spoken about is Jesus. Absolute truth. Now, this prophet exists and is the I am, and is before the world was. John chapter 1 lets us understand that Jesus, he was in the beginning, before the beginning, okay? And not only that, Jesus, this prophet, created the whole world. So, the one who created the whole world, he is absolute. The one who created the whole world, he is true, okay? And so John said in John 1:17, the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. The law, the Torah, the Old Testament, what many people try to go back and follow today, it says that law was given by Moses, the law, but grace, goodness, kindness, peace, gentleness, deliverance, and truth, aletheia, pure, undefiled, full truth came through Jesus Christ, who is truth. Now, Christ brought us absolute truth. Now, truth is pure, okay? Jesus separates himself from all falsehood, okay? So now we have to examine the life of Jesus. If Jesus says that he's truth, and he's making a claim that he is absolute truth, and there's no other truth outside of him, he is the beginning and the end of truth, then we have to examine his life. Truth is pure. Jesus separates himself from all falsehood and lies, and he displays his life in front of everybody to examine it, because truth can be examined to be found truth again and again and again. And so Jesus is going to allow us to examine his life right in front of us so we can see if he's true. So we examine and we see if he's real and absolute truth apart from falsehood, because we know from where falsehood is. We came from the streets. We came from the dirt. We came from doing everything that we wanted to do out there in the world. We know that life. But what's truth? Who's truth? Let me find truth. Let's look and see what truth is. So he helps us to see truth apart from falsehood because he's true. So he's going to measure two standards: falsehood, true. And he's claiming to live in the true standard, okay? And everything outside of him is true, is falsehood, okay? If you're not connected to him, who is claiming to be true, everything outside of that is false, okay? So let's see. Now, he lays these two standards in front of us. Falsehood and lies are the standard of sin. Jesus and his lifestyle, his example, his life, and his words are the standard of truth. Okay? Sin, falsehood, lies. Standard of sin. Jesus, his lifestyle, his example, his life, his words, and righteousness are the standard of truth. Okay? In John 8:46, it says, which one of you men, okay? Now, these men were sent down to examine Jesus, okay? And so Jesus asked them, which one of you can say and claim that I have sinned? That my standard of life is after sin, falsehood, lies. Which one of you can say that? If I tell the truth, then why do you not believe me? If I'm telling you the truth, and you can examine that I'm telling you the truth, and you can examine my lifestyle, that I've been living faithful, that I've been living right, and that I've been doing what the Father, okay, because the Jews believed in God, what the Father, Yah, God has told me, and I follow righteousness, and I've been healing the sick, and I've been raising the dead, and I've been causing the blind to see, and I've been doing all these good things, then which one of you are accusing me of sin? Which one of you accusing me of sexing it up with some woman? Which one of you accusing me of lying and cheating people and stealing from people and killing people? Which one of you are going to accuse me of sin? Okay, so now Jesus is putting his life on display because people want to examine him and challenge him as the truth. He's saying he's truth. So now they want to examine him, and Jesus is saying, find some sin in me. Find something in me and examine if what I'm saying is right or wrong. That's a fair statement. Sometimes as people, we're not fair with God. We're not fair with Jesus. I have to examine myself. Am I fair? Am I examining the whole teaching of Jesus, of Yeshua, of Yah, of God, and putting it to the test of truth compared to falsehood to get to a conclusion of if the claim that Jesus is making is that he is truth? Is he truth? Am I doing that? Or am I just rejecting it and not doing any research, not searching it, just completely dismissing it? Let's continue. Now, truth must and can be examined. That's important. Truth must and can be examined. Now, Jesus, Yeshua, opened himself up to examination, and people recognized him as absolute truth. Why? Because he allowed people to examine his lifestyle, his character. Okay? Now, so people came to find out that he was true. Now, some didn't believe him, some did. But he made the claim of truth. People listened, examined him, and seen that his life continuously lined up with reality and truth. Now, Matthew 22:16. And they sent their disciples to him. Okay? Now, you got other people trying to find out what's going on with Jesus again. So they sending their own disciples to Jesus. And along with the Herodians, and then the Herodians, they came. And they said, "Teacher, we know that you are true." How did they come to this kind of conclusion? Because they examined. They didn't just speculate. They didn't just sit back and talk about him behind his back. They didn't just sit back and say, "Oh, no, you're not the Son of God. No, you're not real. You're not true. You're not authentic. You're not what? You're not me. You didn't come from my background. You didn't come from my family tree. You didn't come from my culture. My culture is the truth." No. They put their biases aside and they examined the life of Jesus. And they said, "Teacher, we know that you are true and teach the way of God truthfully." So now they're putting absolute truth on Jesus. They said, "We know you true. And not only are you true, but you teach the truth of God faithfully, truthfully." So now not only Jesus is making this claim of absolute truth, of being authentic, of keeping it 100, of being cut from a different cloth, a cloth of truth and genuineness, and standing strong